Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, amazing. Um, those are just joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Apologies for this morning. I had something unexpectedly pop up, so I couldn't come and do a live trading session. But anyway, we are here. So let's see what we can get now. CPI. Let's touch on CPI briefly because it was a big drop on headline year on year. Energy prices playing a major part in that major drop. Why? If you remember this time last year, Ukraine and Russia started to escalate. So energy prices, oil prices, all skyrocketed. So in comparison from this time last year to now, there's a huge difference. Okay, so playing a big part in the reason why headline inflation year on year fell significantly. Okay, so we went from 6% to 5%. Now the reason why we didn't really get a huge move in the market is due to the core figures. Those figures actually slightly propped up. So from 5.5 to 5.6. So yeah, there's a little bit of mixed emotion, right? So you are seeing inflation slightly push back up. Okay, now this is where we start getting into that sticky stagflation territory. Okay, yeah, we did see headline inflation come down majorly. That is fantastic, but the core month-on-month figures are showing other signs, right? Now, I mean, even last week on Labor Week, where we got so last week or the week before, where we got weakening U.S. labor market data. Again, there was a little bit of a lag in terms of a reaction. Obviously, the labor market data actually fell. Okay, which should be essentially a good sign. We did get a push up in prices. Okay, so we are obviously trading around that 30k mark now. But realistically, I mean, it should have been the full green light for prices to really push up higher, much higher. But we didn't get it. Okay, so there's a little bit of mixed emotion. Obviously, next on the 3rd or 4th of May, we get the U.S. interest rate decision. And yeah, there's a little bit of kind of skepticism in terms of, is the Fed going to pause? Is the Fed going to increase again? Now, it's more than likely for the Fed to increase again. But obviously, we still got some time between now and that interest rate decision. So the way that I'm looking at things is markets are still going to continue to push up higher. Okay, I'm probably looking at around 32k. If not, actually push towards 34, 35. If kind of the data that we're still yet to get obviously pushes that narrative. But yeah, the way things are looking, 32k is definitely on the books. It's nothing but good news, really, except for that core CPI month on month, which actually saw a bit of a revival. Month on month and year on year. So yeah, at the moment, let's go over through the TA because there's a little bit that's changed. Not a great deal, but obviously we were kind of ranging. Okay, we're holding this natural trend line here, and we've rebounded, broke through, and now we pushed to new highs. And now we're seeing a little bit more of a range, very small. But it looks like we're going to continue breaking out through here. Very little sell side, right? So we got sell side here that was on CPI. but we held very well, and now we're actually pushing up. Nice buy side coming in not too long ago. So yeah, I think it's time for the altcoins to really start to push up on the next push. Bitcoin dominance has pushed a bit deeper into that top range, and now it's actually fallen back from that area. Let me touch on that for you all. Bitcoin dominance here, so we're minus 0.55. As you can see, we are coming down. So as we are in a range on Bitcoin, okay, this is nicely coming down, which is basically giving us the indication, okay, the altcoins are now setting up. Okay, they're accumulating, they're setting up, ready for Bitcoin's push, and then that's their green light to go ahead, right? So coming off the highs, let me just go on the high time frame so you guys can see a little bit better. Here we go, push right perfectly to that top. And now making a nice pullback. Okay, so this is nice. This is exactly what we want to see. We're seeing that on the lower time frame. So yeah, it's looking like it's time for the altcoins to really push up higher here. Dollar index, very, very, very weak. It's more than likely to continue to come down. Right, we're nearly at that area of support where we found some nice demand, and we push right back up. So yeah, there's still a little bit more space, so we should see it come down. Bitcoin starts to build up, ready for its next push as well, and then the altcoins ripping up as well. Okay, now FTM is on our pipeline. Okay, it is ready. It's come up to a level of resistance. Okay, but it's still looking very strong. Very, very, very little sell side. Let me just get all of this TA out here for you. Very, very, very nice structure. As you can see here, we compressed, we broke out with volume. Very nice, and we're kind of just holding this level of resistance here. Okay, so yeah, it's ramping up. When Bitcoin breaks through, this is going to make a very, very, very nice push. You can more than likely see that 0.6 dollar mark hit. Just below that 50, it's a very healthy target. If not, actually break through and start to push up. I mean, look at the volume that's come in. Very, very nice volume. It's held its structure, so it's loading. So this is one that's definitely on our pipeline. So add it to your watch list if you've not already got it on there. It's setting up. It's definitely setting up. Ocean looking not as good. Okay, it's just setting up structure. But yeah, I mean, it kind of broke out of its range. Yeah, retested, held, and pushed back up. Made an attempt, found supply, pulled back. So now we're just waiting for a little bit more structure to hold here, and this one's also looking good to make a nice push up. As you can see here, I mean, look at this, support. Very nice push. We're just coming down to set some support here, and then hopefully we can just see a nice rip back up. I mean, 0.44 is definitely on the cards, without doubt. There's a nice order block here where it found resistance twice. More than likely to come and test that, if not actually break and start to push up again. So yeah, those are two that are looking healthy to go. So we'll be keeping our eyes on it, that's for sure. Okay, so that's crypto in a nutshell. Really, there's a few more altcoins that we've got our eyes on. Okay, but those are the two that we've really are looking to really take positions in. So yeah. Okay, let's go and touch on. Let's touch on. Let's go on to gold. Okay. Continue to push back up. Okay, we're at those highs again. Came down, retested this order block here very, very nicely, held, and now we're accumulating again. Okay. Now, I mean, the market is very in two minds right now. So, this is positioning here. Okay, for the worst, for that recession. That's what they're positioning here for. You're getting that early positioning ahead of that interest rate decision. If that interest rate decision goes back up to 0.25, you can bet this is going to start to rip as well. So yeah, this is the position ahead of time. And you're going to slowly see it push up, come back down, test, and hold positive structure as well as new support, and then continue back up. Okay, again, as mentioned in that important update that we sent out a couple of weeks ago, you want to be positioned into your gold, into your silver. Okay, more than likely that you're going to see a 0.25% increase come in that May interest rate decision. It's not going to be good news for risk on assets. So between now and then, you're going to see those risk on assets make a little bit more progress in terms of upside movement. And then they're going to range a little bit as we kind of get closer to that interest rate decision and hold off. And then more than likely to start to see a pullback on that interest rate decision. Okay, the markets are very much expecting a pause, whereas the Fed is more than likely to come in with another interest rate hike, and then they'll pause from that point onwards. Okay, even though headline inflation did come down, you are seeing that revival on core year on year. Again, that's not what the Fed wants to see. I mean, you're also seeing oil prices absolutely skyrocket. We're at just under $83 a barrel. Due to that OPEC plus supply cut. And yeah, I mean, this is likely to break out, continue pushing up, more than likely to probably be looking at between 90 to 93 dollar range for crude, if not continuing to push much higher throughout this year. Okay, so bear that in mind. That's going to play a factor into the inflation. It's not good news. Okay. Those that are just joining us, welcome. Feel free to chat to us in the chat section. Okay, feel free to ask us any question, anything that you want us to go over, any TA that you want us to go over. Doesn't need to be crypto. All commodities, can be FX, stocks, equities. It's all good. But yeah, let's see what we can get. Those that are just joining us, we've got our eyes on Phantom, Ocean. Okay, we've seen a little bit of a pullback here on Ocean. Hopefully we can hold on to some sort of support somewhere around this region would be nice. Okay, we got some nice structure playing out all the way over here. So hopefully we can just hold and then we can start pushing back up again. So yeah, XRP. So the two trades that we've been holding, we continue to hold. Okay, we are holding for that much larger move. We are expecting a much larger move to play out. Again, all of the news that we've kind of been getting now is good news. We're just getting that sort of delayed reaction. There's slight repositioning from investors. But yeah, it's essentially we will get that move playing out. Bitcoin's made its move. Now we're just ranging. And now it's time for the altcoins to start to ramp up and make their breaks as well. Okay. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes on the stream, guys. Very much appreciated. We are a bit ahead of that New York Open, so we shall see what we can get. Let me just have a look in terms of data that we're expecting to get out today. Not expecting anything too crazy. It's earnings season, so there's going to be a little bit of impact from those company earnings, especially from the banks. Okay, we get jobless claims as well as core PPI from the US in 50 minutes. Okay, so that's roughly about an hour before the opening New York bell. So we should see some movement. Hopefully we will see some movement. Okay, and apart from that, that is about it for the rest of the day, really. So, yeah, let's see what we can get in that New York opening session. We've been getting a little bit of movement, not too much. But yeah, as you can see, we're kind of in this much smaller range now. The way that I'm looking at things playing out is actually breaking up and pushing towards that 32k goal. it might be the case that we maybe hold this range a little bit more and then make that break. Again, we'll see how things kind of play out. Let me just have a little look at what we're expecting tomorrow. I'm pretty sure retail sales are supposed to be coming up, or if they already come up. Might have been yesterday. I'll have a little look at the schedule for next week, as it is important. Okay, next week's a lot of European data. Okay, so we do get EU CPI next week. Um, so gotta keep an eye on that. Okay, that's about it really. Yeah, a lot of it's just European data. Yeah, got some UK data in and amongst that as well. Um, but yeah, let's see. Okay, let me go over to. Okay, let's have a little look at the Nasdaq as well as the S&P, because I know they're at resistance. They're finding a little bit of a top here. Um, yeah, I mean, again, it just shows how investors are very much in two minds, because this should really have ripped. Now, in terms of the Nasdaq, I'm expecting it to find support soon, and actually ripping back up. That's where essentially I'm looking for the top around 13,600. This is nice structure currently. We're just seeing a bit of a healthy correction, testing for support, and then ready to go again. So it could be the case that, again, we just kind of range a little bit more here whilst moving down, find support, hold it, and then make its next move towards that 13,600 area, which is this top here. Be a nice test. But yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Okay, 13,600 as resistance or next resistance for the Nasdaq. Again, we are at a strong area of resistance here on the S&P. Very low volume, very low volume. So, I mean, if the sellers don't really come in heavily here, I mean, we could push down to about there and then make another push. This is to the top here again. Yeah, that's how things are looking for. So you can probably look at 4,300 for the S&P. Once it finds a little bit of support, holds on support, makes that next push up higher. Go back to Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, we are holding currently, so it wouldn't surprise me if we actually hold, push, maybe hold. There's a natural trend line here, then maybe break, hold the range a little bit more, and then start to accumulate again, push up again. So as long as we hold here and make that push up, those altcoins should start to rip. We should see them rip nicely. Yeah, I mean, we're not really getting too much data coming out. Like I said, it's European data next week, really. Don't get much else. You get some PMIs from the US, some China data. What about last week? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's the markets are going to be looking more so at the earnings coming out this week and next week. That's likely to be the case. Okay, let's see if we can hold. Get rid of that. Um, yeah. As soon as we start to hold support, this is looking pretty good. We got two areas of support here that we can come and find liquidity, and then start to accumulate to make that push up. But still running on very low volume. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes as well, guys. Very much appreciated. But yeah, we could probably see the market break on as soon as the start of next month. The market really didn't react well with the last interest rate decision, which was actually expected by markets, and they actually reacted pretty negatively. So for an interest rate decision that they're expecting the Fed to pause and for the Fed to increase on, yeah, that could be the catalyst for things to really start to come down. I would not be surprised if we get a strong move down at that point. Again, I mean, the whole market's very, very, very overextended. Now, by all means, if the Fed decides to pause, this is going to rip heavy. That would be the full green light for risk on assets. A Fed pause in the next interest rate meeting would be a full green light. You could maybe even see around 40k Bitcoin. That's in that scenario. Again, I'm not even expecting that, but expect the unexpected. I'm prepared for it, I guess, because it could very much could play out. It could play out. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's go over some other bits. Okay, this was another one that I didn't quite like the look of. As long as we continue to hold this trend line, saw a nice push, getting some nice buy side. And I mean, we've been holding. As long as Bitcoin can hold this level here and then start to push, we should see waves also make a very, very nice push up higher. It's hit all-time lows. As you can see, it's been accumulating, so it's got a good chance to break straight through here. If not, I mean, you also got a very nice short on the cards, right? We could push down to here. I mean, the next, we've got a lot of room to make a move to the downside, really. Yeah, I mean, it's make or break. It has been holding this level very nice, very, very, very low volume period. Okay, on the higher time frame, you are seeing that spark of that buy side coming in. Okay, once you zoom in, so there's your resistance or next resistance, which we have been holding. As you can see, we've been compressing. Bam, 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 bam. So we're either dropping off a cliff or we're shooting to the moon. It's either one or the other. So we just got to keep a close eye on it. But if we break, we are going to break very nicely. Very, very, very nicely. Always rise. What do you mainly trade and what brokers do you use? So I'll trade kind of mainly crypto, commodities. Do trade forex as well. If we've got some nice news coming out, yeah, I'll keep an eye on the FX space as well. But yeah, those are the main ones really. Equities less so, stocks less so. And in terms of what brokers, I can't, as I'm live on another platform, The other platform is quite restrictive, so I can't give you that information. Um, but yeah, if you want to find out, just drop me a message privately, and I can let you know. Okay, go. Let's go back on gold then. Yeah, as mentioned, we're back at those highs. Okay, let me get rid of some of this CA that we've broken through. There's no need for it. Let's get rid. Da, 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 da. Okay, so that was your compression. We broke out. Okay, actually broke out, retested, and then saw that very, very, very nice push up higher. That's where your support came in. Your liquidity came down, tapped, okay, and actually pushed straight back up. Again, the way that I'm expecting this is, we could actually find resistance here and pull back maybe. If not, briefly breach and then start to pull back, and then can just continue with that positive structure. Okay, we're just going to continue with that positive structure as things go along, and get closer to that interest rate decision. Okay, so push, come back down, and then accumulate again. Probably looking at it breaking the all-time high. In all fairness, I think the all-time high is 2070. Um, so yeah, I'm expecting this to push up. There's a lot of resistance here, a lot of resistance. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'll push, come back down, accumulate, build up some liquidity, go back up, and then actually see that push up and breakout. Yeah, that interest rate decision at 0.25 in the next meeting, if that does come in, you're probably going to see this push up. Yeah, risk on assets are not going to take to that very nicely, and you're just going to see an influx into the safe havens, because there is a lot of restrictive monetary policy. Okay, where interest rates are right now, where compared to where they were a year ago, it's a very large change, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of pain, and you're already starting to see that weakness. Okay, that labour market data says quite a lot, and it's come down. Well, I mean, the last labour market data that came through was pretty heavy. So yeah, I mean, inflation's also coming down. Okay, so there's the recession is on the cards, and that's, I mean, essentially what the Fed wants to see, really, um, to return inflation back to its 2% target. But yeah, that's your gold. Okay, it's just going to continue. You're at your top here, so we could pull back, could break through, create a new high, and then see another pullback like this. A nice correction. So pull back up, and then nice correction somewhere around this region, and then go again. Um, but yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, FTM's looking nice. Very, very nice. Mm-mm-mm. See if we can hold this level. Still very weak sell side. I wouldn't be surprised if we hold somewhere around this region and then make another push towards that resistance area. So, yeah. The dollar just looks extremely weak. Very, very, very weak. And this is where the next area of real support is held at. You could actually, I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if this just continues to come down towards that 200. There's your liquidity right there. So that's essentially kind of where prices are likely to find much stronger support and head towards. We do need to get through, obviously, this area. But look, we're back below that 100 moving average. Things are looking very weak. That's a strong move down. So yeah, you could be looking at a sub $100. That is for sure. Ba, ba, ba. Do, do, do. Yeah, I mean, look at this. They're just ramping right up. The altcoins are loading. You wait. But yeah, essentially, I don't see this range holding for long. Um, yeah, I mean, just the very, very, very weak sell side. So, and I mean, the news that we've been getting now is positive, and the dollar still continues to look very weak. Again, it's just going to be a little bit of a delayed reaction. That's all, and then we can start pushing. There is a gap that got left behind just here. I don't see that being filled up anytime soon, to be honest. I really don't. Oh. Yeah, we'll probably start looking at an entry around the 0.51 mark on FTM and continue to hold that structure and then just absolutely blow through. It's just the amount of volume, very nice. Obviously, we got that breakout of that compression right there. Yeah, this is your gem. It always moves very, very nicely, and it's been holding this positive structure for a long time now. Very long time. It's been setting new support levels. Set it here. Now we're holding this area. Yeah, this is looking good. Very, very, very nice indeed. Da, 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 da. So yeah, that's our trade. Okay, we'll be looking at FTM as well as Ocean to hold and continue to break up. Okay. Those that obviously have been following us for a while, your algo trade as well as your XRP trade, we continue to hold. Okay, I know we pushed right up nicely there, but that's not the move we're looking for. We're looking for the move to push and breach through this previous high here. As you can see, we're actually ranging. We're actually building on some very nice structure, as you can see here. So yeah, we continue and then continue to accumulate and make that break. There's a lot of hype behind XRP, and I mean the higher time frame structure is very, very nice. Okay, so it's only a matter of time before we actually make that break. Very, very, very weak sell side. Very weak sell side. So yeah, keep it on the cards. We will keep it on the cards as well. In terms of algo, we saw an attempt to break. Okay, we came to that trend line we held. Again, still building on some very nice structure. Okay, so yeah, it's only a matter of time before this one breaches through as well. Again, it's been compressing for a very long time. It's coming to its end. But yeah, this is ramping. Okay, we just need that buy side. We're not getting too much buy side. But yeah, this is looking promising. So keep on your cards. I mean, those that obviously have been following us, you should already be in and holding. Yeah, holding algo as well as XRP for a while. Again, we're playing that larger move, but this one is looking ready for a nice push, and probably going to be looking at a 0.25 and algo soon. That's kind of where the next real resistance is. You got that 200 on the daily, as well as this area of liquidity here. So yeah, somewhere around here, 0.25 is a nice round number to chase. If not, if the buyers really start to come in heavy, we'd be looking at a breach through that 200. Probably look at 0.2, let's say 0.28 ish. There's a little bit of liquidity there as well. But yeah, that's a healthy area. I mean, as you can see, nice structure here, bam, bam, and we're holding on to it. Got like a lower time frame, sort of trend line there. But yeah, and those that are new to the channel, get in whilst it's early, because it does look very nice. I mean, it probably could make a push soon. This is nice structure here on that 4 hour. So, yeah, let's see what we can get. Amazing. Okay. Right. So, in 26 minutes, you're going to get some US data. Okay, US PPI. What else? Forgot. Let me just check. 13th. And some jobless claims. Okay. Yeah, could be. I mean, the way that the labor market data has been coming out, I mean, you're probably going to see a higher figure in terms of jobless claims. And ideally a decline in PPI, which would be good news for risk on. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Okay, I am going to come off and concentrate on the charts for this training session. Okay, but yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for liking the stream. Thank you very much for following us. We will be back live tomorrow. Now, I did send out a market update not too long ago. I've gone through a full market update at the beginning of this stream. This stream gets saved onto the profile, so feel free to skip, go and watch it, skip it to the very start. You'll get a full market breakdown. At the very beginning, we go through crypto, the whole dynamics in terms of that, and the data that we just got in terms of CPI, and then we also touch on crude as well as gold. So for those that want to be in touch with those commodities. Yeah, just skip it to the very beginning. Like I said, these streams get saved, okay, so you can watch it in your own time when you get a bit of time to yourself after you come back from work or whatever you're doing. Okay, but yeah, thank you very much for joining me. It's always a pleasure, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Cheers.